Regan Slaymaker for Notjustboxing. The pleasure to be joined by, again, Top Rank COO Brad Jacobs. I was just saying to you off camera, Brad, if RIYADH hasn't impressed me, I'm sure this fight will on Saturday. The rematch between your man Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, everything's impressive about RIYADH, especially when it comes to the world of boxing. What His Excellency has done here is sensational. And like you said, we're headed into the rematch of Beterbiev and Bivol. It was a great fight to begin with, the first time, and the public even demands sort of a rematch, so it's great.
Definitely as well. Obviously, your man got the nod, obviously, in the first fight. I thought he just about nicked it as well. I think I had it by a point as well. But do you think Artur needs to do anything differently in the rematch on Saturday night?
Look, I'm not a trainer, but what he did the first night did the trick, especially the last 3 rounds, 10, 11, 12, thought really sort of convinced it for a win for him. If he picks up there and continues on, I think it'll be a good night for him.
Obviously, I don't think Team Beterbiev or yourself will like this next question, but if Dmitry were to win, do you think we could see this a third time? Because that first fight was sensational, and obviously if it's a good fight, the fans will probably demand a third one.
I think you hit it on the head. If it's a good fight, which we anticipate it will be, the public demands it. Certainly, why not? Why not? There've been plenty of trilogies before, so it would be a good one if the fight demands it.
Definitely, and I'm going to completely contradict myself with the previous question as well. I hear that David Benavidez is flying out. Obviously, I think he's mandatory with the WBA and the WBC. I mean, if Artur were to win it, or a trilogy not to happen, my God, Artur Beterbiev versus David Benavidez is a monster fight in America or in RIYADH as well.
Yeah, I agree. Be a sensational fight in America or anywhere it took place. It's a big fight, but look, we have to get to the final bell and see what happens.
We definitely do as well. Do want to move on, obviously, to a fighter who's kind of not fought on RIYADH season, but His Excellency is a fan, is Naoya Inoue.
Yeah.
Obviously, one Brit as a biased fan. His Excellency has mentioned Nick Ball. I'm a massive fan of that fight. Have Top Rank kind of flirted with the idea of that fight just yet?
Yeah, well, Nick, not the fight in specific, but his name is certainly out there. In association with Ohashi Promotions and Taiken Promotions. They kick around all the names, and we'll look at his schedule for the balance of the year and see what makes sense. Definitely
as well. Obviously, if Inoue were to move up to featherweight, obviously Nick Ball said that he's the world champion. He's the A side in that fight. I mean, how do you like sort of that fighting talk when someone has a potential of fighting Naoya Inoue? Do you think that gives Naoya like a special edge when a fighter says things like that?
Yeah, look, Naoya's been perfect so far, right? Undisputed and everything. So I think any challenge he sees, if Nick Ball presents that challenge, I think he's up for it.
Definitely as well. And final one as well. I mean, it's fight week for Top Rank for Beterbiev Bivol too, but Junto Nakatani fights on Monday as well. I feel like I land from RIYADH and I'm going to be watching more boxing as well. But Junto returns, I mean, one of Top Rank's finest fighters and one of the finest fighters in the world as well. Yeah,
no question about it. You mentioned it. Actually, this main event ends, we run to the airport and we head for Tokyo for the Nakatani fight. He's a special talent. You know, the Japanese have been producing amazing talent in a way which you mentioned, Nakatani. The list goes on, and he's right there now. And in my view, a top 10 pound for pound.
Definitely, and I've been talking to promoter Eddie Hearn about kind of the depth of cards. In the UK, we're getting a bit. Sometimes there's criticism of the depth of the cards, and they're stepping up as well. Those Japanese fight nights that obviously yourself and Ohashi Promotions, they're so stacked with such great fights, and obviously your American shows are coming that way as well with the Keyshawn Davis card as well. How important is it for Top Rank, for that product, that boxing product, to be right outside of RIYADH season as well?
Yeah, it's terrific. Look, you know, it's not unusual to have 3 or 4 world title fights on one show in Japan. The fans turn out. They're there at 4 and 5 in the afternoon. Packed house, 15,000 people. They love it. We show it back in the U.S. on ESPN Plus. It's a good audience for it. They get into it, so it's very important.
It definitely is as well. Brad, I'll leave it there because it's getting colder and colder by the minute. But thank you very much for your time, and hopefully catch up later in the week.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Cheers, Brad. Thank you.